Hi, homeowners. My name is Renee Osborne. For those at home who are on Zoom and I have no camera here, but I wanted to welcome you, the participants here in the clubhouse, as well as those at home. A couple of housekeeping things. We have Milani, water here, restrooms are down the hall. For those of you at home, you got the lay of the land there. I want to welcome the homeowners as well as our candidates. And I want to personally express my appreciation of all of the candidates, because being a board member is not an easy job. It's often thankless. We obviously don't get paid, and we put a lot of hours in. So having homeowners who are willing to step up and offer to do that job, I really, really appreciate it. We're going to keep the training moving quickly today. I want to welcome our moderator. And you don't have a camera either. Bye. Courtney is our moderator today. She is the Vice President of Community Management for the Inland Empire with Seabreeze Management. She has 10 years experience in community management. She also holds industry certifications in the HOA realm. She holds the CMCA, which is the Certified Manager of Community Association. She also holds the AMS, which is the Association Management Specialist. So it comes to us well credentialed, and I appreciate that. I think that's about it. I'll turn it over to Courtney, and we'll go from there.
Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be a moderator this afternoon. As many of you, I work with Seabreeze and doing kind of forum and part of the Zoom 2023 annual election for the board of directors. This helps make voters make informed decisions regarding the candidates from this year, and also to have in the course of the program and learn more about the candidates and what they should do for the residents of the community. With my colleagues, we're working on the instructions. Everyone is afternoon. The election date and time is Thursday, February 16th at 6 p.m. So we'll have to candidates. That election will be held in person at the clubhouse and also via Zoom. To get more information, you can go to www.rsmagrange.com/annual election for specifics. This form is presented on the first meeting of the we'll provide some audience instructions now. These are the cameras in front of each candidate. So the iPad, this one will be broadcast via Zoom and will be recorded for further distribution to the membership. Members attending in the clubhouse are not allowed to Zoom session due to the feedback. We'll have report to that. Please silence your cell phones and keep you watching. You are required to each all credit sparingly. Please remain quiet to the forum, clapping, cheering, or calling out to the body of the program. Please reserve your feedback until the candidate has made a closing statement. Other questions have been submitted to the director. Candidates have not been provided with the questions in advance of this session. I have also been aware of the question collected. If you don't hear the back question, you may have been provided with similar questions or based on overall time restrictions of the event may help you in the next step. By the way, you'll continue with your concerns on happens. So next is the candidate instructions. As mentioned earlier, this event will be recorded. It will be available on the institution channel. Members, you may search at Single Media Ranch BCA YouTube to find a channel. Your participation in the event acknowledges your consent in the recording and posting of the event. Ground rules for the forum: each candidate may make a 1-minute introduction and opening statement. Candidates will be allowed 2 minutes to answer each of the questions posed. And then each candidate will make a 2-minute closing statement at the conclusion of the forum. All candidates will be asked the same questions and will be in a similar order. We want to be mindful of your time. 90 minutes is when scheduled for this event, and it's just state to cover to be able to cover approximately 6 to 8 projects. The timekeeper, Renee, is sitting in the front row, and there's a half-minute left for their speaking time. He will announce 30 seconds, indicating that you have 30 seconds to finish your answer. Please wrap when you hear stop. And if you continue speaking after that, I will say thank you and move on to the next speaker. Civil discourse will be important with derogatory references, with profanity, etc. Opening and closing statements will be done in the following order based alphabetically by last name. Pat Escobar, Karen Bowler, Meryl Minnelly, Richard Purity, and Robert Gray. So opening statements, if we get started, keeping in mind the rules and processes that's outlined, we will open the meeting candidates forum by starting with one.
Courtney? I'm sorry. I just want to reach out to the Zoom folks. I got one text message saying that the audio was a little low. So homeowners on Zoom, we do have the chat window open. So I cranked up the audio a little bit. Hopefully we don't blast the people here in our audience. I just got a note. Much better now. Okay, good deal. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll open the meeting candidates forum. That's another 1 minute opening statements. You can take the candidates. So Pat, you are.
Good afternoon, homeowners. My name is Pat Escobar. I'm down in the board since 2020. I'm asking for your vote so I can remain on the board for the next 2 years. We have a lot of other things business to do, and I would like to be a part of it and presenting you. The homeowner. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Carolyn, your 1 minute, starts now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carolyn Roller. I'm a new board director. I'm certainly hope to be a director for the next 2 years. I've been very involved with the HOA for a number of years. Volunteer on the architectural committee, as well as a former member of the activities committee. I have done a lot of listening to open forum meetings along the way, much sooner than even when I ran for the board 2 years ago. And I learned a lot, and I learned a lot from the coursework that I took on HOA management, and I continue to learn being a part of the board and understanding the process of the decisions we make. And I'm a collaborative type of person. I'm willing to listen and contribute to the
Time.
discussions. And
Time.
Hello, my name is Meryl. I am a Pacific Med, retired, U.S. Navy. I also worked there 1 year for the state of California. With the Employment Development Department as a principal compliance representative. I also served as an assistant bowling coach over the entire lane to 15 student bowlers. And I'm also new to the board. I look at the current economic climate, and I know some of the challenges some of the people are going through right now, and some of the challenges has been expressed to me. So I decided to come to run for the board to see if I can look into helping mediate some of the challenges that some of the people have brought to me.
That wasn't me, but you have 7 seconds.
And I wanted to make it clear.
Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to turn my volume off and just tell you when it's time.
Yeah, because
Oh, no. Yeah. No, that wasn't me. Sorry. Okay. We're on to Mr. Purity.
My name is Richard Purity. I was on the architectural committee for a while. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've operated every type of heavy equipment. I have a private pilot's license. I've done a lot of things in my life. Years ago, I've been to many open forums. I've learned a lot. Will be new on the board. I know a lot of things going on with that. I want to make changes. that needs to be done. 3 or 4 people go to open forums and no one comes here anymore. It needs to be changed. I would like to see a lot of things change in that, and I learned a lot with the architectural committee of how things work, and hopefully I can get on the board with Ira, and that would be great.
Mr. Riddick.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Robert Riddick. I'm not going to give you a big detail of this year who I am, but I'll just over briefly. I was elected to the board of directors in 2000. Have been serving since then, successful. People who have faith in the word. But one of the things that we have a lot of challenges ahead of us. It's going to take the entire community to work together to try to be accomplished those challenges. We can't do it by ourselves. So, there's a board and we're going to do it by ourselves. So, what's most critical for me and what you need to understand about where I think my answer is because my ability to simply build up, try to build a community amongst the board and then we're facing in challenges and it's going to do the same thing. Thank you.
Okay, before we go on, I'm getting more and more. I just want to, let's do a mic check because I want to make sure everybody is. So obviously I'm not a sound mixer here, guys. So do a check going this way one at a time and then we'll see.
Check.
Okay.
Check.
Check.
Okay, so now I'll just go back and text these people and see which ones sounded right. Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, with that, we will begin the question and answer portion. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer the question. With the time, again, I'll just do around 30 seconds. So, we'll start with the first question. As we goes to facts. California is once again going through a drought. This first, the governor has declared a state of emergency in order to deal with it. Please tell us how you see the drought affecting 78 range and what controls we would consider as a means of conserving water that is used in our common area grounds. Please be specific.
I work very closely with FEMA and the irrigation people. Stay on top of our water usage, and right now we have our irrigation set up due to the rain. They will come back on, they came back on last night. And we're keeping on top of FEMA to make sure that when there is rain, the irrigation is shut off so that we are saving money with our water bills. Also, we're working with FEMA with a few proposals in which we are going to redo the landscaping area. And we will get rebate from the water company, so they will not cost the anything. Like the other landscaping changes that we have made, where we spent part of the money, but we were reimbursed over $300,000. In the same way, coming up again, we'll redo the next renovation, which will be along Paris, along Haycock, and just to conserve water. It'll still be beautiful, it'll still be green, but we need to do something to conserve water because it's terrible. As far as homeowners and their own, that's a big question. The homeowners are not being written up or violated for their laws. Thank you. The association knows that we're the drought and we will not be violated. That was fun. We have to do your best to keep it up. We understand. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. The next question will go to Karen Goller to the money over to this.
The following comment has been made on social media. I am a homeowner and a business owner. The economy is killing us. Electricity and natural gas prices are rising. The wages for my workers have increased. The cost of absolutely everything has gone up, and yet the board raised the assessments. If you were to be elected, what would be your response?
Okay, first of all, the increase in goods and services has gone up for the HOA as well. We have to have a balanced budget in order to do that. The expenses for the HOA has to be weighed against the income for the HOA, so to determine the budget out line by line, it was based on real time, on basic costs for all those things, so it's a bare bones budget. We've done all we can to keep the increase as small as possible, but it was absolutely necessary in order to keep everything going the way it needs to go in terms of services, and keeping the lights on and that type of thing. So there's not wiggle room in that budget. Of course, we are obligated as directors to stick to that budget. So I know it hurts all of us in the pocket, but unfortunately that's the way it is. It's all gone up for every single one of us. And as members of this community who pay the assessment fees, they have to increase just in order to keep things being taken care of, maintained, etc. So I hope that's answered that question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Provide everyone put their phones on mute. No, we don't say that's okay. The third question now is supposed to you. Ruling on CCNR violations and assessment delinquencies occur every month as a director. Sitting in judgment of your friends and neighbors can come up and will. How will you approach these difficult discussions and tough decisions?
The rule is and if I understand the question that you posed, is that sitting on board, a person has gotten a notice regarding a issue that needs to be discussed and how I handle it, whether it be a friend or family. The first thing that I feel as a board member, we show some kind of compassion for the person. Understand, given current climate as it is right now, everything as Carolyn Goldman has just said has gone up, and people are tightening their budgets and everything just make things make it neat. Now, the decision is hard to make it at that point, but we want to be able to work with that person and find out what that person has actually done towards correcting those elements that they have been called out on to repair, replace, or to take care of. Here's the issue. If the board is coming across very cold to them, unfeeling, have not, in their review of what when they come forward, if they feel that they have their answers, their question hasn't been answered in terms of, or feel that they're being listened to, it's going to be hard to get a consistent, because ultimately you're going to have to work with that person. Now, understand there's going to be times.
Time.
Thank you. Okay, question number 4 is going to be posed to Richard. Richard, the question is, the violation process has been explained many times at Homeowner Forum, published in the Roundup, and the documentation is posted on the website. In layman's terms, please explain the violation process, and is it good or bad for the community?
You mean the amounts as far as The current raise, the 1,000% increase, is that what you're talking about?
This would be specifically for the violation process and enforcement of that. Is it good or bad for the community?
I think it's bad because it went up 1,000% for violation. I don't agree with that one bit. It's too much, especially now because everything has gone up. We're paying $5 a gallon for gas. Now, the SoCal gas is more than double. We can't even heat our homes and everything's gone up, groceries, everything else. And now we're paying 1,000% more on a fine. It's way too much. We're getting hit everywhere. And it's way too much. I have to work part-time after retiring for 12 years. So, I mean, it's just, everybody has a pinch right now. Everybody's paying way too much. Everybody's having, yeah, I mean, it's just, everybody's paying, food, clothing, gas, utilities, electricity, everything's paying, we're all getting pinched. And the violation from what, $25 to $250?
30 seconds.
For the first violation, that's way too much. We can't afford this, and then our monthly fees went up again. From 108 to 120 a month, that's $37,000 a month increase for the homeowners. When's it gonna stop? Way too much, way too much.
Thank you.
Let me just interject here, as soon as I turn this thing off.
Did you say something? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. I wanted just to make a comment here. So these questions are submitted from the homeowners. So while Courtney is asking the questions, she's not the one who created the questions. So if you ask her clarification, she's unable to do that. She can repeat the question, but she can't, since it wasn't her selection, or she selected them, but she didn't write them. Okay.
Okay, for a quick question, we'll look at Robert. Robert's question is, creating the annual budget is one of the most important tasks that the board is required to perform. It determines how much money will be spent and on what it will be spent. Specifically, how do you envision creating next year's budget? Which expenses would you decrease and which expenses would you increase?
Good question. Good question, thank you. So let me begin by saying that the budget process is probably one of the most important processes of the task that the board is challenged with handling. And that's because it's the tone for what we do, how we manage our affairs here, what bills we pay, what we can afford to pay. And we make sure that it's all balanced, which means that our primary source of income is going to be based on assessments. Also rental, and any small social event that actually generate revenue, which usually doesn't happen. As far as that goes, looking at this year's budget process, we had 6 separate budget meetings, all of them open meetings, all of them were posted and announced and noticed, so the entire community could become part of that, either by watching on Zoom or in person. We did have a lot of homeowners who did participate, and it was an open process. That's the thing that we need to continue doing. That's the way we've always done it. That's the only way we've been established the balance budget by making sure that people each line individually decide what you can afford to pay for that line. Whether it's whether it's security, whether it's office staff, it doesn't matter what it is. We've got to do that process that way. But that's the only way we can end up with a balanced budget. If you don't have a balanced budget, you're going to be in trouble. Balancing that budget is always a task. We have to figure out what we're going to cut, what we're going to not cut, what we're going to do better, what we're going to do better. So we're going to make sure that we cover 50% that we need to cover, and figure out what others are going to say. Everything's going up. There isn't a single item in our economy that is not increasing price. It would be unacceptable and literally unrealistic to expect that our assumptions would not be affected by them. And was waiting into our budget for this year. We could have gone a lot more than it did. And we would have been justified, but we didn't, because we tried to make sure that everybody that would be impacted by the budget would be impacted.
Time.
fairly.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll start with the conference camera, you'll receive the reference, so. California is in state with your job as a result, the governor has declared a state of emergency, and we're dealing with it. Please tell us specifically how you see the drought affecting Salem Ranch and what controls you would consider as a means of considering water that is used in our current area of reference.
I think we will be continue on the path we're already on, that is reducing the turf, around the ranch, and, we're in the process of converting spray irrigation to, what's the word? Drip system, so that will save water, and, so it's just a matter of that, as well as, plant selections that are going to replace existing plants. That will be a critical part of water savings for the utility itself. And when it comes to homeowner, we're really beginning to look at drought resistant landscape designs at our own homes. So we hope to be able to bring more ideas. So we have to do that and still have a very attractive lawn in the backyard and everything. So it's continuing the work with Venus to reduce the water costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the second question for Meryl. The following comment has been made on social media and homeowner and business owner. The economy is killing us, like trust, electricity, natural gas prices are rising, the wages for my workers have increased, the cost of absolutely everything is going up, and yet the board raised the assessments. If you were to be elected, what would be your response?
Mr. Nunley? Oh, okay, I just want to make sure.
No, I heard you. I just focusing my thoughts on how to respond. Okay, I want to finish my previous question, just in relation to this one. On the previous question, it was asked about how I would handle the fines regarding the family. I would go with what the CPNR and bylaws have with respect with the homeowner and the person that received the notice. I would not show any any favors to any person due to status or anything like that. Now, as for the other question, could you repeat that request, please?
The assessments have gone up. If you were to be elected, what would be your response?
Okay, regarding the assessments, I would first of all have gone through the entire budget at that to see if there was any way to make any cost cutting measures within the budget. If there was, I would pose it across the board to vote on trying to reduce it in that manner. At that point, I would also look at trying to bring it up to open forum. I mean, and let the homeowners know up front. Okay, we've done everything we can. This is what's happening. These are the reasons why we have to do such drastic actions that we've done. So that even though they may not agree with it,
Hi, sir.
Thank you. Okay, the second question for Richard. Ruling on CCR violations and assessment delinquencies occur every month for the record. Sitting in judgment of your friends and neighbors can and will come up. How will you approach these difficult discussions and tough decisions?
Regarding my neighbors, if they violate something, they will be treated just as well as somebody that lives a mile away. It wouldn't matter any different if they live next door to me. It's all the same. If they're in violation, it doesn't matter. They will be treated just the same as anyone else. The violation is the violation. They'll go through it If they appeal it, we'll go through the process with the board and they can come and appeal it and we'll deal with it. It's, doesn't matter. If they live across the street or 2 miles away, whatever it is, it's a process that will, I will show no favoritism, even if it's a relative of mine, which I have relatives in the ranch. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. That's all I have to say.
Okay, Robert, your second question is the violation process has been explained many times at home on the forum, published in the roundup and documentation that's posted on the website. In layman's terms, please explain the violation process and is it good or bad for the community?
Okay, thank you for that, Courtney. So here's how the process works, and you're right, we have explained this many times in the past to the homeowners, and it's unfortunate that sometimes it does seem a little confusing for people to understand. So here's what it is. We have folks on staff here who are tasked with, according to our CCNRs and our governing documents, to inspect the property to make sure that we're constantly maintaining the value of our homes. That is the primary reason that they're inspected, to make sure that we do not reduce the value of our homes. The process itself is that if an individual is violated for any issue whatsoever, they're all treated the same as violations. So if it arrives at the board's office, we look at that violation, we verify whether it's a valid violation, then we send them a letter. The letters are warned them. A month later, and that letter, by the way, it lets them that if you clear this, you won't hear from us again. If they don't clear, it's inspected again, probably within a month. If the violation is still there, they send a second letter and asking for it to be cleared. Now, they've had 2 months so far, keep that in mind. If it doesn't get cleared or we don't hear from them for a reason why it's not cleared, on the 3rd month, they receive the 3rd letter. That letter invites them to the board of directors meeting, where they have the opportunity to speak to the entire board at one time and explain why they haven't corrected that violation. If they have a plausible reason, and contrary to whatever anyone else may think, if they have an issue with that violation that they can't correct, this board and every board that I've sat on has always been
30 seconds.
and been empathetic to the reasons why they couldn't. And we will give them enough time to correct it if necessary. On the other hand, if they choose not to show up and explain why they haven't corrected it, then a fine will probably be issued against them for the continued violation. If they want to appeal it, they can come to the board and they can appeal it. They have to come in person and explain why it needs to be appealed, and then we'll work with them. That's the process. Typically, it takes 3 months. Typically, the board is empathetic, and typically, we try to work with the best way we can. With the
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, question number 2 for Pat. Creating the annual budget is one of the most important tasks the board is required to perform. It determines how much money will be spent and on what. Specifically, how do you envision creating next year's budget? Which expenses would you decrease and which expenses would you increase?
Very good question. Okay, I've worked on 2 budgets so far since I've been in office here as a board member. I've worked on 2 budgets and we've done it in 2 different ways. And the first one, it wasn't bad, it wasn't hard to do. Mona, which was president at the time, took most of it upon herself and did, prepared herself. This year, it was a great experience because we took every single line item and went to the bare bones. We took every single invoice that we had to steer and we out what we were having and just created that line item with that. That's how much that we cut everything to the bare bones. There is no wiggle room. And we are monitoring our budget every single month as far as what is being spent on, and if we can do anything different next year. Next year we will, actually it'll be in a couple of months, we will have our reserve study done. We will know what is needed based on our reserve study. And we will address it then, those will be the major topics that we will address. What we need to improve, replace, remodel.
30 seconds.
Thank you.
You still have 30 seconds, I'm sorry. You're good.
Okay, question
question number 3 will be posed. Question number 3 will be posed to Meryl. California is once again going through a drought as a result of the Americans declared a state of emergency in order to deal with it. Please tell us how the drought, how you see the drought affecting Seminole Ranch and what controls you would consider as a means of conserving water that is used in our common area grounds. Please be specific.
Yes. The drought is, pretty severe, coming up. I mean, it's probably not as bad as it was, early part of, probably a month or two ago, but it is still a severe drought. Some of the things I will be looking at is, some of the things that I already mentioned, like, drip systems to, help, irrigate some of the plants. I would also look at drought resistant plants and ecosystems that would help mitigate some of the water use. I would look at some of the things that I already mentioned in terms of when water would be used in terms of sprinkling for plants that are not drought resistant. See if we can minimize that to the bare minimum so that the plants themselves still survive and still keep its color and beauty without damaging it.
30 seconds.
I would also look at and that I'm looking into professionals who have made other ideas to help with that process and probably pass it on to the homeowners to help them in terms of saving money on some of the water bills and also to help save water.
Time.
Okay, Richard, your third question is the following comment has been made on social media. I'm a homeowner and a business owner. The economy is killing us, electricity and natural gas prices are rising. The wages for my workers have increased. The cost of absolutely everything has gone up with the board raised assessments. If you were to be elected, what would be your response?
Well, that's very true. Everything has gone up. There's not much we can do about the electricity and the gas rates right now. Food has gone up and everything else. I don't know what the clear answer is. Everybody's cutting back on everything. We're keeping our houses cold. Here in the ranch, we're trying to conserve also. There's only so much we can do. We're tired of paying $5 a gallon for gas. I know the ranch is trying to cut back as far as their budget and things like that. We just got to keep trying as far as balancing the budget. You know, California is a big state. Electricity, gas, everything, and water. You know, we just got to stay on top of these politicians, and it all drips down to Seminole Ranch. It's everything that, that's going on. Myself, I haven't watered my lawn in over 2 months. The rain itself, I've turned everything off. You know, my house is cold. My electricity is just about off. I'm doing lunch there, and hopefully, I know everybody else is. When you go to the grocery store, we're all trying to save money. Because we have to, you know, I'm working part-time. I went back to
30 seconds.
So, I mean, it's, you know, we're all trying to save because we have to, you know, it's just to survive, so to have a better life. Who thought we'd be in this situation? You know, 2 years ago or whatever, everything was rolling on pretty good. And now we're in this situation. So, I don't know what the answer is. Maybe we can get out of this, you know, before long. We get the rate down, get a better balance budget in the ranch.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can.
Thank you. Okay, Robert, your third question is regarding, ruling on ceasing our violations and assessment of policies occur every month as a director. Sitting in judgment of your friends and neighbors here in Boca. How will you approach these difficult inspections and tough decisions?
So another good question, and it's actually something we do already. There isn't a single board member on this board right now that does not have to deal with either a neighbor or a friend who has been in violation of some of the, or one of the, rules of our governing documents. It happens all the time. It's a very easy process to handle. You handle them individually, you handle them the same way, you're consistent. If they are a friend or a neighbor of yours, they already know that because we probably already had a conversation with them about them. Making sure that they're correct, whatever they do think is a violation, so it's not a surprise, it's not difficult to handle at all. Here's the deal. All of us signed a contract when we bought a home here in Sunny Ranch. That contract included our commitment to making sure that we maintain all of our property for the benefit, not just us, but for every single homeowner who lives here. And why? Because that's what increases the values and keeps our values of our homes at the level that we would really like them to be. I can't imagine that if any one of us sitting in here would have a homeowner living next door to us who didn't take care of their property. We're violated, you refuse to show up, and then we're fined, and then argue about it. It just is unrealistic. It's also selfish. So when we do that, whether it's a friend, a neighbor, or someone that we've seen casually, if they are violated and they go before the board, that's usually the last step before we actually put out a fine. It's unfortunate that it gets to that stage for whoever comes in. But
30 seconds.
But it's a process that we have to. It's our fiduciary responsibility to every single homeowner here to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that the property values here are maintained as high as they can be. Violators bring the property values down. I don't think anyone of us would want to see us give any violator a pass just because they're a friend or someone we know. That's just what we do. Thank you.
Thank you. Great, Pat, your third question is, the violation process has been explained many times, but before public, and the relevant documentation posted on the website. In layman's terms, please explain the violation process, and is it good or bad for the community?
Our violation process is good for the community. It gives you plenty of time to make your corrections. The way our violation process works is when there is a violation notice, a letter will be sent out. You'll have 15 to 30 days to respond to that letter. If you need time, all you need to do is pick up the phone and call the office and let them know you have read the letter, you are taking care of it, and they will give you the extended time. If in 30 days you've not responded in any way or there's not been any change to the property, then a second letter will be sent out. Same thing there. The homeowner does have the opportunity to contact them to let them know their status and what they're doing about taking care of their property, and if they need more time, they're given more time. After that, they go out and the property is inspected a third time. We're now 90 days into the process, at least, if not longer, because we've given you some extra time. So with minimum of 90 days, go out and reinspect it, still in violation, nothing's being done, we've heard nothing from the homeowner. We are now calling you to a hearing. That hearing gives you the opportunity to address the board. Let them know what the circumstances are and what you're doing about it. As long as it's a work in process and you communicate it so with the board will give you an extended amount of time. There is no fine for 90 days at least. It could go up to 120 days before there's even a first fine given. So there's plenty of opportunity to make changes, get the necessary things work done to the property to bring it back into compliance. Thank you.
Okay, Carolyn, your third question. Creating annual budget is one of the most important tasks the board is required to perform. It determines how much money will be spent and on what it will be spent. Specifically, how do you envision creating next year's budget? Which expenses would you decrease and what expenses would you increase?
Okay, first of all, I wasn't on the board at the time the current budget was prepared, however, I did sit in on the Zoom calls and I watched every step of the way, so I know the process that's involved and I'm looking up to be on the board next year. What I will do is in collaboration with the board directors is again, it's line by line, it's looking at what the actual costs were for the previous months. And again, we look at that, see if we can skin it even further, whether actually wasn't enough dedicated to that particular line item, or have to increase some. So wherever we can, we'll decrease, and wherever we can, or where we need to, we'll increase. But it all in all, again, it's depending on balancing the budget, and to do so, we have to match the expenditures with the income. So it's a process that's done each and every year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Richard, we'll have your fourth question. California is once again going through a drought as a result of the governor has declared a state of emergency in order to deal with it. Please tell us how you see the drought affecting the range and which controls you would consider as a means of conserving water that is used in the common area grounds. Please be specific.
That was you.
For you, Richard, thank you.
Well, why don't you read, Mr. Purity? That was for you. Courtney will restate it. Yep.
That's okay, no problem. Okay. California is once again going through a drought. As a result, the governor has declared a state of emergency in order to deal with it. Please tell us how you see the drought affecting the Seminole Range and what controls you would consider as a means of conserving water that is used in a common area grounds. Please be specific.
Okay, what I would do is I would put timers on everything and that would work very well. We don't need to be running water all the time. That is very efficient, especially with timers. I have timers on my house, and like I said, I haven't used my sprinklers at all for over 2 months. There's no need. You look around and people are still watering the lawns in the ranch at their homes because they don't turn off their sprinklers. We need to do the same thing here. We need drip systems, and we could use an area where we had a catch basin for excess water. We have areas where we can dig down and use like a small reservoir to catch water. It's very simple. I've worked many construction jobs. That Henry Diamond Lake over there, I worked there where that big reservoir was. I worked there for 4 years. That big reservoir has huge amounts of water. We could do this in a smaller aspect somewhere around here, fence it off, do whatever, and make a reservoir project and catch a lot of water. Things like that, but you need leadership to do it. That's what it takes. Very simple. Like I said, I've operated every type of vehicle so what can be done. And that's my vision of some things that can be done. It's very simple. We don't build reservoirs. We've had built reservoirs since I was on a project in 25 years ago. They don't do it in California. They can do it here. It's very simple. Instead of giving our money away to other places. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, question number 4 for Robert. The following comment has been made on social media and the homeowner and business owner. The economy is telling us electricity and natural gas prices are rising and wages for members have increased. The cost of absolutely everything has gone up, and yet the board raised the assessments. If you were to be elected, what would be your response?
Another good question. Okay, so this is the way I would look at it. Yes, the economy is in a position now where everything is going up. We can't control that. But we can control what happens here. And the best way we can keep the assessment that where we are right now is by making sure that we come into the balanced budget, a budget that is cut to the bone, as you've heard others say already, which is what we did this year. It would also require looking at, maybe sometimes making some hard sacrifices to make sure that that assessment level remains steady as it is now. By the way, a lot of folks don't realize, and maybe not even know that, this was the first increase in 9 years in our assessments. They went up by 12, by 18, by 12 ounces. That's astonishing in the HOA industry, especially in Southern California. That is unheard of. So we did what we could to make sure that we didn't go any higher than that, and in order to make sure that we keep it at that level, based on what everybody's aware of, already that we're in a tough economy, we just got to make sure that when we budget this coming year, we cut everything as much as we can. We look at it, as Pat said, we look at our reserve study, know what items need to be replaced, those items that can be held off and being replaced, and make sure that we cut all of our contractors down to the least amount of money that they're going to charge us. By the way, this board negotiated their butts off this year, trying to make sure that our contractors, some of them.
30 seconds.
10, 12, 15, 20% increase below what they charged the previous year. We were able to negotiate with them as part of our job as well, down to almost 2% of an increase in what they wanted to do initially. So that's the kind of thing we're going to have to keep on doing. We're going to have to be smart about it. We're going to be knowledgeable about it. We're going to have to be aware of what the economy is doing and keeping our finger on the pulse of the fact of where we need to cut and where we can afford to spend.
Thank you. This is your fourth question. Ruling on CCR violation and assessment delinquencies occur every week as a director. Sitting in judgment that your friends and neighbors can and will come up. How will you approach these difficult discussions and tough decisions?
Okay, I've already gone through this and experiences with a close friend of mine, in which I had to make a tough decision. And the rule for rule, was looking for me, they're looking for all women. You can be my best friend, but for some reason you're in violation and you're given the opportunity to correct your violation and you still haven't, then you have to face the consequences. Just like I can get a violation this as well. Hopefully, yeah, but if I do, it is what it is. I have to make sure I make the correction. And if I have a close friend or have a close friend and that person violated, well, then I'll have to make the decision to fine them for not following the rules. No favoritism played here. I'm sorry, but I can't play favoritism. I have to represent each and every one of you that are sitting here or home listening to us, and I have to treat you all the same manner. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Carolyn, your fourth question is the violation process has been explained in terms of open forum, published in Roundup, and documentation is posted on the website. In layman's terms, please explain the violation process and is it good or bad for the community?
Okay, the question has been answered by a number of the people here on this panel. So I can reiterate that the violation that's observed by the office person, whose job it is to look at, they're given a letter. And 30 days later, then agrees that, approximately 30 days later, they get a second letter. And the time where span of time has taken place, then they get called in before the board to talk about why they haven't taken care of the violation and what they plan to do about it. If they need an extension, we're more than happy to accommodate that and just maybe give them suggestions on what they can do to bring their property into compliance. So it's really not that difficult. The thing is with violations, we all sign the contracts, you see in ours, that people are obligated to keep the property the way it should be, and when they don't, it brings the appearance of our neighborhood's down. And that can affect our values. So it's really important that we follow this violation process and do what we need to do to make sure that violations taking place, and if that has to be a fine, that's the way it is. I think the fine increase, the violation increase was necessary.
30 seconds.
People, fees did not get people's attention. These do, and So there's no reason to have to pay a fine, you can just do what you're asked to do, you reclaim these.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's see your fourth question. Creating annual budget is one of the most important tasks the board is required to perform. It determines how much money will be spent and on what. Specifically, how do you envision creating next year's budget? Which expenses would you decrease and which expenses would you increase?
I am new to the board and I have not, had the privilege of, being involved in, creating a budget within the association, but I have, been involved with other entities in which budgets were due, and we, would look at, what is the, priorities, for the company, meaning that, what are the absolute needs of the company that we need to have money to take care of first, and we would tackle those issues first, and then the next medium obligations we would do that, and then the least amount of things, those things would be done at the end. And after looking at after we prioritize the budgeting on funds as we prioritize it, then we would take another look at it to see, is there anywhere where we can make tweaks, where we can come down some to make room for other areas of which you may not see them as obligations that could become obligations later on. And if there was, we would make those tweaks, and if it wasn't, then we would be like this. This is how I foresee on enhancing the budget in terms
30 seconds.
in terms of work, trying to get a balanced budget. After the budget is complete, then you have to announce what you plan on doing if you want. Give an explanation, because again, the people are paying money to the association, so I think they deserve an explanation as to the reason why the budget is as it is.
Thank you. Robert, this is your fifth question. California is once again going through a drought. As a result, the governor has declared a state of emergency in order to deal with it. Please tell us how you see the drought affecting Sunny Ranch and what controls you would consider as a means of conserving water and that is used in the common area grounds. Please be specific.
Okay, so we've been in this drought situation before, and we're at it once again. One of the things that we did before, and we're currently doing as well, is we're monitoring all the smart controllers that we have installed throughout the common area of the ranch. Right now, there are currently over 30 of them, and they're designed to be weather controlled. They know when it's raining, they know when it's not raining, they know when to turn the water on, and how long to turn the water for. One of the things we could do is tighten that up so that we're actually generating less water than we are now. Another thing we can do is continue what we've been doing to control the drought, and that is to remove as much turf material that's in the common areas as there is currently in existence. Replace that with drought tolerant material like mulch, like stones, any small ground cover that doesn't absorb as much water. It's been mentioned already. I'll mention it as well because it's already on the table to us in our upcoming projects of landscaping, and that is that we're going to be going more and more to drip systems. Straight sprinkling is just not effective anymore. It's a huge waste. And it's already in progress. This board is already implemented. One phase that's going to change out the strip spraying to drip water style water. So those are some of the things we can do. The other thing is that we can also encourage people to be more conservative. It's not just the common area.
30 seconds.
Which is our responsibility as to share it with the HOA. But through newsletters, through membership messages that are sent out, we can continue to encourage our membership to find the best individuals who can serve all use of water. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this is question number 5 for Pat. The following comment has been made on social media. The homeowner and the business owner, the economy is killing us. Electricity and natural gas prices are rising and the wages for workers increase. the cost of absolutely everything is gone up in the board race assessments. If you were to be elected, what would be your response?
Like Robert previously mentioned, we had not raised our assessment at all for probably 5 years or maybe longer. 8. Anyway, if we were to raise our assessment a little bit every year, we'd have been way above the $120 that the homeowners are paying today. We raised it $12. It's not a big raise when you look at what our electric is costing us. The HOA has the same increases on our utilities that we as homeowners have. So we have to increase the assessments to pay the bills. We're not paying anything different, we're paying just the bills. And we have dealt with our vendors. They tried to increase it in things and we can only just can't. I know we have many talks with Venus on whatever increase they try to put through and we're not accepting it. We have our cleaning, Espinosa, our cleaning room that comes in here. They try to raise it, but we tell them no, we can't do that. We've got the contract, but we cannot raise it. So we are working diligently with our vendors to keep the prices down the best we can.
30 seconds.
They've also started charging vendors that are charging us fuel surcharges, in which we are rejecting invoices monthly because we're not going to pay fuel surcharges. We just can't afford it, but that's another task that we have to deal with as the board. And me as treasurer right now, I have to deal with these homeowners, or these vendors, as far as trying to get their negotiate prices and services. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, question number 5 for Carolyn. Ruling on seeking our violations and assessment delinquency occur every month. Thereafter, city investment of these funds and neighbors Carolyn will come up. How will we approach these difficult discussions and tough decisions?
It's pretty simple. With CCNRs, we are obligated as directors to enforce them. The same across the board to whether they're friends or not, or just the homeowner, we don't know. So it's just really not an option. If I have a neighbor that is in violation, I'm going to talk to them and suggest some ways that they can come into compliance. But if they don't, within a time period that they need to, then I go to the other board members to issue the fine or, you know, with the fine, only after that 90-day process or period of time. So I would give no favoritism whatsoever to someone I know or as a friend or relative, any of the relatives here. So anyway, I would enforce the CCNR that each one of the other directors is obligated to do. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Question number 5 now is to be directed towards you. The violation process has been explained many times in open forum, published in the roundup, and documentation is posted on the website. In layman's terms, please explain the violation process and is it good or bad for our community?
I heard from the previous, the 30, 60, 90 day process, before anything is, done. It has, in my humble opinion, it has its pros and its cons. Yes, I agree with the keeping up the homeowner value, but, I do believe that, there should be a point to where, it should be a little bit more empathetic in terms of, because everybody's going through hard time. I mean, even though yes, they're going through a challenge and the fines have been, it's been explained to them over and over again. Sometimes a person needs a person to listen to them. And maybe they be seeking some ideas to help them with their violation. So, even though they know the answer as to what they should be doing, and I'm taking a different route. Maybe it might be who the board to kind of listen to them, find out what they're doing, help them out. If it's during a period of
30
time-
seconds.
If it's during a period of time when what is being asked for is could be considered virtually impossible, then I would say reasonable consideration would be reviewing that moment. So that's what I would consider this point.
Thank you. Okay, Richard, this is a leader for the question. Creating the annual budget is one of the most important tasks the board is required to perform. It determines how much money will be spent and on what. Specifically, how do you envision creating next year's budget? Which expenses would be decreased and which expenses would be increased?
As far as the budget, being new, to the board when elected, one thing I would do, the phone bills are outrageous. I don't know why they're so high, in this day and age, and also to the electricity, why are we not doing solar? We could put in solar and eliminate, the electricity, and lower it big time. I haven't had a chance to sit down with everybody and go through the budget like the others have been on the board for a long time. But there's a lot of things that could be addressed. I see the phone bill and I can't believe what we spend on a phone bill. It's outrageous. And going solar would cut the electricity big time. And it's never been addressed. We put solar up there and cut the electricity. I don't know, I don't have solar on my house, but I know it's a lot cheaper than what we're paying, especially Edison is just what, double the rates or whatever, I don't know what the rates are. I know I pay a lot, everybody's paying a lot. There's things that could be done, and the phone bills are out of sight. I don't know why we're paying so much for phone bills. Because that we're doing with the phone, I don't know the phone. It shouldn't be that way.
30 seconds.
But that's a couple things that I noticed that could be changed. That, you know, I would like to go through line by line if I'm elected and see what we can do to eliminate a lot of these expenses and go through it and not just sign off and say, well, it is what it is. It was that way last year. Let's just continue on and continue on. Sign off and hey, that's it. No, that's not how it works. You know, we need to make a change. Thank you. Thank you.
Great, thank you. With about a little over 10 minutes until we start closing statements, these last three questions are intended to be more lightning round and maybe one sentence, couple sentence responses. So given that, we cut that time down a little bit, but they're pretty straightforward questions. So we'll try to get through all three of them. Okay? The first one, Pat, this will be going to you. Since you are an incumbent, I'll ask you the incumbent portion of this. If you're an incumbent, how many board meetings, including meetings and town halls, did you attend the 12 months prior to your election?
Prior to my election, I attended all open forum meetings. I attended the town hall meetings. I was for everything. I was here for the events as well. I was also on committees and I attended all of those meetings as well.
We'll continue this question down the line since it gets pretty straightforward. So Carolyn, as an incumbent, again, how many board meetings, including budget meetings, town halls, did you attend in the 12 months prior to your election?
Okay, I've been attending open forum meetings without fail for probably 9-10 years. I've always supported the HOA events, anything I signed up to do, like the architectural committee, I would not fail, it was not available to those types of, things, so, we pretty much attend everything that at the town halls I zoomed into, or came in person, those that, were held in person, so pretty much everything I can do to support this HOA and be informed, I do. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Meryl. That, the question for you as a new candidate, how many board meetings, including budget meetings and town halls, have you attended in the last 12 months?
I have to be honest, I haven't, attended either. None of the board meetings or open forum, but I have kept informed through, the medias, what was posted in next door, what was, in the, roundup, information was given in the roundup, I read that, each month, to kind of keep on top of what was going on. And also, I was informed of leaders who had opinions on what they had heard after they had a chance. So that's how I got a lot of information on there. Because oftentimes when they had meetings and stuff, I had other obligations in which I couldn't attend.
Thank you. Richard, the same question for you as a new candidate, how many board meetings, including budget meetings and town halls, have you attended in the last 12 months?
Well, up until recently, the clubhouse has been closed, they used COVID as the reason why it was shut. They just opened it up recently, so prior to that, I went to a lot of open forum meetings over the years. I went to a lot of them, but they just recently opened the clubhouse. We used COVID as a reason. Everything's been open for the last couple of years. Everything was open, but not here. It was closed. So that was their excuse to keep the doors shut because of COVID.
Thank you. Okay, Robert, the question for you is, as an incumbent, how many board meetings, including budget meetings, town halls, did you attend in the 12 months prior to your election?
Before I answer that question, I just want to make a couple of points about things that have already been said. Just for clarification. Number one, if we get given the assessment, but it's just enough there, making there. If we apply the 2% increase to our assessment every year, or after the years that we hold it steady, like most associations.
Excuse me, Robert, this is lightning round.
Okay, can't deal with that.
Cannot, yeah. You can do it in closing statement.
All right, so, how many meetings?
Yeah.
I've done every single meeting that this association has had in the past 12 years. And when I was president, I was considered ex-official member of every single committee, and I tried my best to attend every single committee meeting. As far as activities, when I was the activities chair, I was responsible for putting those activities together. I was in attendance at every single one of them. Since not being on the activities committee, I've supported every single one of the activities except for the last camp night. I was out of town at that time, but I think that's the only meeting I have missed in the past 12 years of being a member of your board. Thank you.
Okay, next question. If you could make one improvement or one new amenity, what would it be and why? Carolyn, I'm going to give that to you, or you want me to do that?
It's really hard for me to think about new amenities at this time, just because of the kind of bare bones budget we have. But, you know, it's a good question, and I don't really have an answer for it. I'm at a loss, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now same question for you. If you could make one improvement or one amenity, what would it be and why?
If the budget would allow, I would look into put in a small area to do a miniature golf course. I know a lot of people as a family do miniature golf and have fun with it. So this would be something, if the budget, and I specifically, if the budget would allow it, put in something like that. And to make it fun for the people, something that, attractive to, bring more people in and get to know, the people within the community.
Great, thank you. Richard, that same question to you, if you could make one improvement or one amenity, what would it be and why?
Well, what I would do is I would go solar to cut down on electricity, prices. And also too, I would go back just a little bit. I worked for 2 years to get the pool heated. And it's all around now at 82 degrees. I worked hard for 2 years. And people said that's Richard's pool now. He finally got it heated.
Richard,
Yeah.
what is your new improvement? I'm sorry, I need to keep you on track as well. What, one improvement or amenity? You mentioned solar?
Solar to get the electricity prices down. Solar is cost efficient. It should be here. There's no reason why not. I don't know what solar costs to put in, but it's an amenity that can be done. A lot of people have it. I don't have it in my house, but it should be here.
Okay, thank you.
Because of electricity prices.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep us all on track with the single sentence. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Robert, that same question to you, one improvement, or amenity that you could add, what would be in line?
So my dog falls along with Richard's incidentally, and it chimes into what we've already talked about in the past, with this board as well as previous boards, and that is how can we implement solar here a little effectively. We talked about how to get it done. It's an extremely expensive proposition, and we don't have any policy in the budget for. So it has to be a capital expenditure. But being that we have to have another available for it, take a long time to get it done. Even if there are programs for it. One thought I had was for even the courts. We've got the tennis court, we've got the basketball courts. The top of those could be easily covered. You could install solar on top of them. Or another idea would be to use the parking lot where the trees currently are and turn that into a solar farm. But that's the only thing that I could really see if we had it in the budget. There are a lot of things that we can do. There are a lot of toys we can bring in, but I gotta tell you, you look at that budget, there's no money there. There's no money there for it. And as far as cutting expenses.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, so that was a question, Pat, for you as well. What improvement, or amenity would you add in mind?
Okay, right now, my improvement would be, we have a grapefruit grove over there. We're not using it for the grapefruit anymore. And I am looking into trying to get a community garden started there, where everybody in the community would have their own little area to work on, and then we can share our produce or whatever we are growing there. We can share with each other like a farmer's market. But right now, the grapefruit grove is in dire need of some other steps before we move forward of doing that, or bring anybody in to get proposals and how we can address that. But that is something that I'm looking into. As far as a new amenity and an improvement to the area over there. It's a very nice area. It's having something down with the Katie home involvement. And we are working on that too, as soon as it's resolved to move forward.
Thank you. Okay. We'll have to get to last other lightning question, but I will leave that for closing statements to be mindful of our right. So with this, we'll go to closing statements. People are running up 2 minutes for each of the candidates. Pat, we will then start with you.
My closing statement is, I love the ranch. I volunteer all the time. I don't have to be on a committee to volunteer. You need some help, I will be here. I've listened to a lot of the homeowners and some of their suggestions, and I think they're great. As long as we need to increase our communication amongst homeowners and the board. The homeowners that I talk to have some great ideas, but there's only a few that talk to me and come up with suggestions. I welcome everybody to talk to me, to come up and give me your suggestions or ideas, and let me pass it on to my fellow board members and see what they can do about it. And I ask for your role, your support, and I will represent you to the best of my ability for the next 2 years. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, let's close this evening. I hope that I've answered the questions in a way that gives you confidence in my ability to serve on the board. I love it. I love this ranch. I've lived here for 26 years, raised my children here, I have raised my grandchildren, I helped out. And it's a beautiful community. And as mentioned earlier, I volunteered on the activities committee, which is a very time-consuming, intensive committee to belong to. And I always give kudos to the people who are happy on it and will be on it in the future. And currently I am on the architectural committee. And so I just want to be a part of our community going in the right direction so that we can continue to be proud of where we live. And again, that kind of involves having that violation process. None of us want fines, but it's critical to have the system that works in order to get the homes maintained in a way that keeps first of all, makes a pleasant place for us to live, but also keeps our home values up. So I think that's important. Thank you. And I would like your vote to things. Thank you. Okay, we're all here to
Hello, as you can see, I'm very new, there's a lot of information that given to me to try and answer that I stumbled over, and I really admit that a lot of information I didn't know, and I answered the best I could. But as you can see from my heart, that I have the association's interest as my first priority. If elected, I would study more and get to the level that the incumbents are obviously have information on, have knowledge on. And I understand that will come through being on the board and learning. But as you can see, I am an open book. I'm open to having open policy in terms of bringing whatever questions you have. I believe in the suggestion box. If you have a suggestion, bring it in. We should, as the board, look at whatever suggestions you may have and see, is it possible? Can we do something to incorporate it? Is it in the budget to where we can do those things? If it's not, is there some way we can squeeze it into the budget to make it work? If it's not, we give an explanation as to the reason why. The whole idea is to make the board needs to, in my humble opinion,
30 seconds.
needs to be as transparent as possible so that the homeowners as a group know where we are coming from as to the reason why we make certain rulings, certain determinations, certain budgets, whatever. It needs to be transparent, and that's how, as a board member, if elected, that's how I would.
Thank you so much. Richard, your closing statement.
Yes. I've lived in a ranch for 25 years. And I'm an honest person and I care about the homeowners. I know what it feels like to be taken advantage of. And I want to be part of an HOA board that listens to a problem and tries to help. If elected, I will go to all CAI classes for training. After an audit, the CPA stated an audit couldn't be completed to missing funds and documents. I believe that a person who is in debt with state or federal taxes and cannot manage their own money, those people should not have access to millions of dollars in the HOA. There is no paper trail and receipt for hundreds of dollars. The homeowners pay their dues and believe the money will be used wisely. They're in the lake that have died due to lack of auction. Broken fence at the corner of Heacock and Lake Summit has not been fixed after 3 years. I know that being a board member is a hard job, but I believe honesty and transparency is
30 seconds.
I want to serve with Meryl and Angel and make this a better HOA. Every class that I've taken over the years with all my certifications, I placed number 1 in my class with all my certifications. And I would do the same thing with all these classes that are presented to me as a board member. I'm a quick study and I will learn real quick. We need to change.
Thank you.
Some of these people have been on the board for years. We need new
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Robert, your closing statement begins now.
Well, first of all, thank you everybody, especially the homeowners who took the time to show up and be part of this process. And I think it's important that you do a couple of things. Number one, listen to what all of us have to say today. Take that and evaluate it. Use it to make sound decisions on where we want this board to go, and where we want this HOA to go. My vision is that this is an association of 2,766 homes that all make up the community of the Southern Branch. And we're all living together, we're neighbors, some of us are friends, some of us aren't. But we all live here, and we all share the same burden that happens to this HOA. There's a lot of contention going on in the community right now for the things that have absolutely nothing to do with how this HOA is run. And I'm sorry that those folks feel that way, but we're not going to try to change their minds. That's not our job. Our job is to make sure that there's home values and everything that you take, everything that you do and you pay for here is represented the best way it can. And that's our obligation. It's our promise to you. We're not in the game plan. We're not into favoritism. We're not into exceptions being made for certain people for a certain reason. We're just here to do our job. We're here to do it the best way we can. We're volunteers. We don't get paid a single dime. So any of the things that you might disagree with us about, you're entitled to do that. Your homeowner here is as well as those who agree with us. And you have routes and tasks for grievances. Come to our open forums. Express yourself. Let us know how you feel when you're not in agreement with us.
30 seconds.
As far as I'm concerned, at this point, I really would like to continue serving you. I think I got the skill, the leadership, I got the past track record, and I've got the heart desire, and more important, I've got the time. And I'm ready for the vote.
Great, thank you. So this concludes our forum. Just a lot of work and wrap up with some of the election details. Ballots will be on January 16th. The next meeting candidates is set for Wednesday, February 1st at 6 p.m. This will be the same format and chair as well as via Zoom. Each ballot contains instructions on how to cast your vote and how to return your ballot. The ballot with 3 ballot items: direct vacancy, IRS revenue ruling, and your 2022 minutes for approval. Statements from all qualified candidates advocating a point of view. It also includes 2 envelopes, one of which is posted to page. You'll want to use both of those and read those instructions. So it's a blank envelope you stick your ballot in, and then one that you will sign. So if you follow those directions carefully, so it's noted. Election night is Thursday, February 16th at 6 p.m. Also here in the clubhouse and via Zoom. If you did not receive your ballot, you made a mistake on your ballot and the replacement, or you wish to drop it off rather than mailing, the polls are open only on election night, again, February 16th, from 5 to 6 p.m. an hour prior to the election. You can come in and drop off here, get it updated, replacement one, and so forth. As you know, a quorum of the membership is required to conduct the election. That's 25% of the 2,677 members, which equals 670 ballots. So 670 lots need to cast a ballot in order to hold the election. Otherwise, be adjourned to a later date, and potentially cost the association money. So please return the ballot properly. If we go into the quorum, as I mentioned, it could be adjourned and reconvene at a later date. If that happens, the quorum is reduced to 15%. And in that case, 402 ballots are needed in order to hold the election. So nothing will be opened until quorum is achieved. Okay? So acknowledgements, thank you all candidates for your participation in this democratic process. It's nice to see that for 3 spots open, there's 5 seats, and there's healthy debate on the association and the membership wants it to be run. Homeowners, thank you for attending the event, both on Zoom and in person. We appreciate that. Don't forget to open your ballot, talk to your neighbor and get them to vote as well. Any questions related to the election should be directed towards the neutral third party, which is hired after voting. If there's a broker, and you can't locate it, you can then contact the Assembly Branch office. You have the phone numbers, so again, I'll give it to you 951-924-2249 or email office@assemblyBranch.com. Okay, so thank you all for attending and we wish you a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, candidates and homeowners.